What's up, PegVlog? Guess what? Today, I have a special guest for you, and he is right here with me in my heart, just like Chris was. Give it up for Miles Thompson.
I'm in your heart.
Yeah, yes he is. Me and Miles are gonna answer some questions first, and then we're gonna get on to actual vlogging crap. So.
Wait, I thought I was asking questions.
Same thing, silly.
Okay. So we have from Jordan. Do you think the keyboard will still be around when we are older, or will we be using holographic keyboard displays?
Actually, I don't think holographic displays aren't really something that we'll be doing in the future. It's effort, and people don't like having to do things with effort. So, like, instead of, like, flailing your arms around to, like, type stuff onto a screen, they would probably have something that you could just, like, plug into, like, your ear or something, and it would connect to your brain, and then all you'd have to do is just, like, think about what you want to have happen, and it'll probably happen like that. So that's my answer.
Future.
Yep.
I feel like that would turn out to be like WALL-E.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, what's your favorite Nintendo character?
My favorite Nintendo character is Banjo from Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh, I knew that.
Yep, and I hopefully now everybody does too. Actually,
Why?
I also really like Kazooie, but she's kind of a bitch, so.
Why?
I don't know, they're the dynamic duo. If they were like a unit, they would be the unit that I'm a fan of. They're my favorite Nintendo characters.
Why?
Is there a why in that question? You just throwing it on there. Smart guy.
Yeah.
I don't want this video to be like half an hour long. But honestly, because they're the characters from my favorite game of all time. And they had lots of personality and lots of depth. Well, not really depth, but like you knew how they would react in situations and stuff, and they had the comedy value, and they also had the character value, and yeah, that's my answer. Also,
That's great.
they like to burst out into song. I remember that intro sequence. I'm just gonna like put a little clip right here. And we're back. So, that's why.
Okay. What is your favorite genre of music? Question mark.
Oh, I'm gonna go jazz. Like, upbeat, happy jazz.
Yeah,
Without like, a voice in it, because I prefer straight up instrumentals. So.
Which do you prefer, sunrise or sunset?
Sunset! Sunset, that's easy.
Why?
Because twilight is pretty, and when it's in the morning, you're too tired to appreciate it.
Twilight is pretty?
Yeah.
We're talking about the time of day here, right?
Yep. Time of day. Time of day. A book, like, you shouldn't
Just wanted to make that clarification.
Even if the book was pretty, that wouldn't make it a good book. That's not how books work.
Yeah, well, yeah. What console of all consoles would you say is best in terms of consumer value? Question mark.
Consumer value? I'm definitely going to go with the N64 because people still have them. And they still love them, and they still play them. And they were cheaper than the newer consoles now. And they have a lifetime of forever compared to the lifetime of like 1 or 2 years of the newer ones. So, that's why. We're going to do 3 more questions here. And then we're going to go on to real crap.
But there's so many.
Yeah, well, we'll do them next time. Do them next time.
Elevator or escalator? Question mark.
I'm going to go with an escalator. Because they're cooler, and I like walking, and like it's like you're like speed like powering like up through like.
It's like you're rising into the heavens.
Yeah.
The heavens of floor 2.
You're just like walking, and then you're just like it's like you're walking, and it's like you're on like an invisible ramp in some crappy game where there's like no clipping. You're just like.
Yep.
Flying up there.
Why do you enjoy being asked questions?
Oh, that's easy. It's because it's easy to do and it informs people of things I like to do and it gets my brain thinking about things I wouldn't normally think about.
Like why you enjoy being asked questions?
Yep, that's why.
What sort of questions intrigue or interest you the most?
Questions that are hard to answer.
Such as not that?
No. Like, I mean, that's like a good question. It's not hard to think about. Like, the questions that are just like, it's like a question that you have to be like,
That's a stumper.
yeah. Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly what.
And Eric's last question is, what's your favorite YouTube channel? Question mark.
Oh, my favorite YouTube channel is Blue Table Painting right now. I used to be a big fan of ET-Ski tutorials, and he was like this Unity developer guy. He would put up awesome videos of like what he's doing, and then like he would put up hour-long videos explaining high-end like Unity concepts of code and stuff, like pathfinding. He did like 3 hour-long videos on like pathfinding, and I mean like I still can't get it to work, but I don't care. I loved it anyways. But right now it's Blue Table Painting, and you can find them right there.
Why is his table blue?
Oh, it's
that's my question.
that was the last question. But blue because he wanted an object and a color. That's why he answered it. Sean, the lead guy, answered it in like one of the videos and stuff. So yep.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the freaking questions this time.
Aww.
So, Miles, I know a lot of people don't normally get to see you. So,
oh no.
What? What do you mean? Oh no.
Are you actually going to show the
Why don't you tell us like what you've been doing lately? Like, what have you been up to recently?
I have been training for my new job.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got a job at the theater, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
At not Cinema City anymore. It's just Cineplex Odeon McGilvery. It's becoming one of, I think, the 5th VIP cinema in Canada.
Nice.
So training this month, and then we should be open in November.
You know, I kind of wish it was still cheap seats, and like they made a new VIP theater somewhere else in the city. Because
Me too, although I'm not exactly sure how it's working, because I think only part of the theater is VIP, because that's all like alcohol and stuff. So there's obviously other theaters, other auditoriums in the theater that aren't. Like,
I gotcha. But
I'm not sure if they'll still be cheap seats though.
I really wish it was just like $5 you can see a movie, because that was great.
Yeah, that was great.
$30 if you wanted food.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
But now that you know I'll be making your food, it's gonna be like you can trust that it's gonna be like service with a smile.
Are you gonna give me
like
some extra butter?
Lots and lots of love.
You gonna give me some extra butter, Miles?
Oh yeah, lots of butter, but mostly love.
Gonna butter my kernels up.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we have D&D tomorrow, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I actually touched up my my guy over the weekend. I gave him, I touched like I know the paint on his rock was chipping and stuff. So like I touched
the figurine.
Yeah, I also like washed the entire thing like 500 times with like a brown wash. So like the shading on him is fantastic now. I held him up to the camera, but like it's probably really hard to see.
Okay. Character last week. Nothing really changed.
Oh yeah, there's the whole backstory thing, right?
Changed, yeah.
Yeah, Chris was the only one who actually physically showed up to that meeting.
Oh yeah.
The reason I didn't go is because I wanted my backstory to come up naturally.
Oh yeah.
As the game went on, I didn't want to be like, "Hey everybody, here's my backstory." Well,
yeah, it doesn't feel like it feels like we should just kind of have that as the role playing element.
Yeah, that's a really big part of role playing.
Like when I was playing D&D with fellow workers at IMC this summer. We all kind of made up our backstories and consulted with the DM individually, and people were around, so they overheard some stuff but weren't really listening. So everyone was kind of a fresh character, a fresh face for everyone, and no one really knew what was going on. And then there came a point in the campaign, like I had kind of been not the most forefront, or not really on the not really a leading role character. And nobody really knew me aside from the fact that I was a half-elf druid and I had a bear and I was kind of silent most of the time. And then we were trying to infiltrate a nobles party, and what do you know? I used to be a noble in that city.
Yep.
And everyone just freaked out, so it was kind of funny.
Yep. Well, I mean, like, I wanted, like, I think the reason like I would have gone to that meeting is because I would have like passed on information that Steve needed to know to like to him directly. So like I just asked him like, what do you need to know about my backstory, and I could just tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, like there was like a slight kerfuffle, but I don't think it's a big deal. So if Steve's probably watching this video right now, something I would love to see, Steve, is when we doing like a speech thing or something. If you could provide like a +1 bonus to like our speech if we do a really fantastic speech or something. Like if it's really crappy, do like a minus to our roll, so that we actually have to participate and it like affects stuff more. But I was just thinking about that today, and I didn't get a chance to write down my book of cool thoughts, which is something I have. So.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I should do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
I'm getting better at writing things down, but then I go a whole day without writing anything down, and then all of a sudden,
it's just great because like you can just like write down. You know, you're sitting like at 3 a.m. in the morning or something, and you just ideas, and you just like that's really freaking cool. And you write it down in your book of cool ideas, and you can just flip through it when you're bored and be like,
yeah, I need to get myself one of those.
It's just a book, just a blank journal thing, and you just write crap in it.
I realize I could probably just use a blank sheet of paper, but
yeah, probably.
Sometimes it just doesn't occur to me that when I think of things, I can write them down.
Yeah, yeah.
Like right now, in fact, I'm going to write down what I'm thinking of right now.
What were you thinking about right then?
Just this little thing here.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. All right, folks. Miles,
that's like 2 points per letter.
Miles, why don't you send us off here?
How do I do that?
Good enough.